Good evening everyone, welcome to the official YouTube channel of Officer Survey 24/7. My name is Amanjyot and today it's our 10th class related to AML KYC certification exam. So in today's class we are going to discuss certain MCQs on KYC policies or simply on the KYC. So first of all, we have already understand that what is KYC in the earlier classes. Let's revise what is KYC, then we will continue with the MCQs. So when we are talking about KYC, it stands for Know Your Customer. And what is Know Your Customer? Know Your Customer is simply, we can say, Know Your Customer is a process which will be processed by, which is mandatory for all commercial bank to be processed so that they will know their customers. So KYC is the process in which the commercial banks or all the financial institution review certain documentation of their customer. It can be a new customer, it can be an existing customer. And why we are reviewing the documentation of the customer? Because we want to know about what type of risk or what category of risk can be arise or can be exposed to the bank because of that particular customer. So simply when we are talking about the KYC analyst simply means the person who reviews, or the work of the person, the primary work of the person is to review the documentation of the customer, in which we required certain important document which cover your officially valid documents also. So first of all, when we are talking about the KYC document, first it includes your photo identity proof, second your address proof, and third your photograph. So these are the three documents which you have to give with the KYC, with the process of knowing the customer by the financial banks, okay, or financial institutions. So KYC, we have discussed that it is a process which should be compiled by, or which is mandatory for all the financial institutions to compile to know their customer before providing financial services or product. Okay, so let's start with the first question in which we are asking about the money KYC. Good evening Naresh. First of all, let's start with the first question which is talking about the KYC. First question is saying that please read the KYC practice given below, in which it has said that identify the KYC element which best relates to the stated practice. Now, practice is effective information gathering strategies enable building of a solid information base about each customer. So this is known as accounts and transactions monitoring. Second is customer acceptance. Third is customer identification. Or fourth is risk management. So which of the following will be true when it comes to the KYC practice performed by the bank? So when a bank is performing the KYC practice in which effective information gathering strategies are building by the bank of a solid information about each and every customer, this process is known as, or this KYC practice is known as, is it account and transaction monitoring? Is it customer acceptance? Is it customer identification? Or is it risk management? So which of the following will be true in context to the KYC practice performed by the financial institutions? A, B, C or D? So as we know, in the question, in the practice, it has said that we are talking about the KYC practice which is done by the financial institution, and what we are doing, we are making a certain effective information gathering strategy. Now how can we gather the information, or what information we should gather to know our customer? Okay, and it enables the banks to build a solid information base about their each and every customer. Now what will be the benefit of creating a solid information about information base for any customer or for each and every customer? When a bank will have a solid information about its customer, now the bank will be capable of knowing what type of risk or what level of risk will be there in context to the customer. Okay, so right answer will be, very good Naresh, right answer will be C, that is customer identification. The KYC practice we are talking about in this particular question is customer identification. When you are gathering the information which is related to the customer to make a solid information base with you about your customer is known as customer identification, right? Now let's move forward to the second question, which is asking about which of the following will treated as a customer for prudential KYC analysis. So when we are talking about the prudential KYC analysis, which of the following will be treated as a customer? First statement is saying any person or company which holds an account issued by a credit union. Second is saying any person or company which can conduct a transaction in relation to an account offered by a bank. C is saying all of these, and D is saying any person who is a signatory to an account offered by a building society. So which of the following will be treated as a customer for the prudent KYC analysis? Is it A, B, C or D? So the KYC guidelines will be given by Reserve Bank of India on the time-to-time basis. On time-to-time basis, RBI updates the KYC guidelines for all the financial institutions. Okay, and each and every financial institution has to compile with that guidelines. Otherwise, RBI will implement penalties on the commercial banks, right? So which of the following will be the right answer for the second question? Is it A, B, C or D? So here in the question it is asking about then where for the prudent KYC analysis, which of the following will be treated as a customer? So is it any person or company which holds account with the credit union issued by a credit union? Second, any person or company which can conduct a transaction relation to account offered by the bank. Third is saying all of the above or all of these, all the three options. And D is saying any person who is a signatory to an account by a building society. Which of the following will be true? A, B, C or D? Right answer will be your C, that is all of these, because all are treated as a customer when we are talking about the prudent KYC analysis. Okay, so right answer of the second question will be your C, all of these. Next, what factors and characteristics come into play for the process of customer profiling? When we are doing the customer profiling, then what factors and characteristics comes into play for the process of customer profiling? Is it credit worthiness? Is it purchase history? Is it all of these, or is it buying patterns? Which of the following will be correct? A, B, C or D? We are doing the process of customer profiling, and at the time of doing customer profiling, which of the following factors or characteristics will be there? Or you have to check about that. Is it credit worthiness of a customer? Is it the purchase history of a customer? Is it all of these, or is it buying pattern of the customer? Which of the following will be correct? So simply we are doing customer profiling. When we are talking about the customer profiling, it is obvious that we are collecting the information about the customer. We are doing the profiling of the customer on the basis of the KYC documentation, on the basis of the verification. So it will cover everything. It will cover all of these. We will check the credit worthiness of the customer or the credit history of the customer, the purchase history of the customer, and buying pattern of the customer. When you know all these three, then you can understand or you can analyze what information is very important to have about that particular customer, or what kind of services we can offer the customer, or what kind of services we cannot offer to the customer. So while doing the customer profiling, while creating a profile of a customer for your bank or for your financial institution, you have to know about the credit worthiness of the customer, that the customer is defaulter or fraud or not. Then the purchase history, that how frequently this customer use the services or product of the banking sector. And the third is buying pattern of the customer. Okay, now these are all are the characteristics and factor we should have in mind at the time of doing customer profiling. Next, KYC is to be carried out every 5 years, to be carried out every 2 years. It is an ongoing process or a one-time project. So which of the following is correct about the KYC? So we have to do KYC every 5 years or every 2 years, or it is an ongoing process. You have to continuously perform the KYC process, or at the end it is a one-time process. When you are opening account of a customer, when you are joining a customer with your bank account, then only you have to perform KYC. So which of the following will be correct regarding the fourth question? A, B, C or D? Let me know which of the following will be right, A, B, C or D? Fourth is D. It is a one-time project. Acha, we have discussed in the earlier classes that on the basis of the risk of a customer, we have given a certain norms for the periodic updation of KYC. When a customer belongs to a high risk level, then at least in every 2 years, you have to do the periodic updation of the customer's KYC. At the case of the medium risk, at least in every 8 years we have to do the periodic updation of KYC, and with the low risk customer, at least once in every 10 years, at least once in every 2 years, in every 8 years, and every 10 years, on the basis of the risk category of the customer, that is high, medium and low. It means you have to process the KYC every time, so it is an ongoing process. You don't only do the KYC at the time of opening a bank account of the customer or at the time of linking the customer with your bank. No, you have to perform the KYC process every time, okay, after a certain period of time. So for high risk it is 2 years, for medium risk it is 8 years, and for low risk it is 10 years. So KYC is an ongoing process, right? Next, is adopting anti-money laundering practices is compulsory for banks in India. So when we are talking about anti-money laundering practices, what is anti-money laundering practices? First of all, we have money laundering. Money laundering simply means conversion of black money into white money, conversion of dirty money into clean money, or we can say conversion of illegitimate source of income to the legitimate source of income. So these are the terms which we can use at the time of money laundering. And to control money laundering, we perform certain activities, and those activities or regulations are known as anti-money laundering, okay? So anti-money laundering practices in India, adopting is mandatory or not? So first option is saying will be made compulsory, second is saying yes, third is saying not sure, fourth is saying no. So which of the following will be correct when it comes to the anti-money laundering practices to implement in India? Is it compulsory or not? What will be the right answer? A, B, C or D? So as we know, KYC is a very important process for all financial institutions, and they have to perform KYC periodically updations also at the time of linking the customer with the bank also. So it is obvious that KYC is an ongoing process, and it is one of the anti-money laundering practice. Okay, it is one of the anti-money laundering practice in India. So the right answer will be, your A will be made, no, the right answer will be B, that is yes. The answer for the fifth question is yes, that the anti-money laundering practices is compulsory in India already. Will be made compulsory? No, it is already made it compulsory by the Reserve Bank of India, like for KYC. Periodic KYC is mandatory, taking KYC is mandatory. Okay, at the time of, after a certain period of time, KYC analysts have to review the documentation of the customer, they have to review the credit worthiness, they have to review the purchase history, they have to review the payment history of the customer also. So it is already mandatory to control money laundering in the India. Okay, so right answer will be yes. Sixth is saying, it is repeated. Now the seventh question is saying FATF was established to. FATF was established to. First is saying regulatory conduct on site manual evaluation report, ensure global action against money laundering and terrorism financing, ensure that financial system is not used for further criminal and terrorist purposes, or D is saying all of these. So first of all, FATF stands for Financial Action Task Force, and which of the following is the reason because of which we have established the Financial Action Task Force? Is it A, B, C or D? Which of the following is correct? A, B, C or D? So FATF is a Financial Action Task Force which perform or which gives us a certain regulations, certain norms, certain policies and strategies to control money laundering and to control terrorism financing. Okay, FATF also gives us two type of lists, that is grey list and black list. In grey list, those countries will be coming who are performing money laundering and who are performing the terrorism financing also, but they are agreed to participate under the FATF strategy. They are agreed to participate with the FATF to control the money laundering and to control the terrorism financing in their country. And in coming in grey list gives a certain warning to the country that you are in the grey list, you have to stop these activities, otherwise you will be blacklisted from the international financial system. And when a country becomes blacklisted by the FATF, the country is banned from the international financial system. The country cannot participate in the international financial system. Okay. So right answer will be all of these. All of these are the reason because of which we have established the Financial Action Task Force. So the answer for the 7th question will be D. Next. Next question is asking which of the following acts define the offense of money laundering as under: engaging directly or indirectly in a transaction that involves property that is proceeds of crime. Second is saying or derived from the proceeds of crime, or knowing, receiving, possessing, concealing, discussing, transferring, converting, disposing of within the territories of India, removing from the bringing into the territory of India the property that is proceeds of crime. Okay. So it is asking that which of the following acts defines the offense of money laundering. If you are doing all these activities, it means you are doing offense of money laundering. Okay. Now, which of the following acts defines it? Is it a Impediment of Money Laundering Act? That is 2002. It is Anti-Money Laundering Act 2005. It is Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. Is it Active Money Laundering Act 2003? So which of the following is true? Which is controlling the money laundering in the country, which is controlling the engagement directly or indirectly in the transactions related to the criminal activity. Second, it is controlling to drive money from the proceeds of crime. It is controlling receiving or possessing or transferring or converting the money into the from the illegal to the legal. So which of the following acts give us or defines the offense of money laundering? A, B, C or D? Which of the following will be right? So as we know, to control money laundering, we have certain practices of anti-money laundering. First, we have KYC, that is know your customer. Second, we have already the PAN number. In every transaction related to more than 50,000, you have to give your PAN number. So that is also an activity confirmed or included into the control money laundering. So when we are talking about that, imprisonment of 3 to 7 years will be given if you found guilty for the money laundering, and also you have to pay the fine of rupees 5 lakh, up to rupees 5 lakh. So these activities was defined under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. So the right answer for the 8th question will be your C. Okay, that is Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. Next, in accordance with the AML KYC, what is the full form of PPI? When we are talking about anti-money laundering, know your customer, what will be the full form of PPI? Is it Producer Price Index? Is it Prepaid Payment Instrument Issuer? Is it Proton Pump Inhibitor? Or it is none of these? So which of the following will be the right answer for the 9th question? A, B, C or D? AML KYC stands for Anti-Money Laundering, Know Your Customer. Okay, now what will be the full form of PPI? It is Producer Price Index. It will not be Producer Price Index because it is related to the inflation. When we are calculating the inflation, we have 4 indexes. First is your Wholesale Price Index. Second is your Consumer Price Index. Third, we have our Producer Price Index. And fourth, we have Index of Industrial Production. So A option cannot be true because A is related to the inflation measurement index. Okay. Now the right answer for the 9th question will be your prepaid payment instrument. So prepaid payment instruments is the full form of PPI, that is your prepaid payment instrument. These are the instrument in which you have money in wallet and you are doing transaction from that wallet only. So that is known as your prepaid payment instrument. So right answer will be B. Which of the crime is not included under PMLA Act 2002 for proceeds of crime? So which of the following activities or which of the following crimes are not included under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act? Is it drug trafficking? Is it kidnapping? Is it A, B, C or D? About the 10th question. Okay, so right answer will be your none of these, because all are included. Okay, answer will be none of these. Next. So we have given a certain case. It is saying that after submission of driving license as a proof of identity and address, but still bank asks for telephone electricity bill from new customer. Why so? So this is the kind of case study in which we are asking that when we are talking about a customer has given a driving license as a proof of identity and the proof of address, and also still after that bank is asking for the telephone or electricity bill. And why bank is doing so? Why bank is asking for these bills? First is saying, is it because of for establishing identity? Second, in order to establish the present address of the customer. Third is verifying the legal status of the person, or fourth is saying none of these. So which of the following will be right? A, B, C or D? What will be the right answer for the 11th question? Okay. So the question is asking that whenever we have submitted the driving license and proof of identity and address, but still bank is asking for the telephone and electricity bill from the new customer. Why bank is doing so? Is it for establishing the identity? No, you have already established the identity by having a driving license. Okay. Now in order to establish the present address of the customer, that is true. It wants to find out that this address you have given is your present address or not. So right answer will be your B, that is in order to establish the present address of the customer. Okay. Next, role of the frontline employees of bank in respect of KYC guidelines is to. We are talking about the role of frontline employees of the bank in respect of KYC guidelines is to assist the customer in filing of the account opening forms, serve with a smile while opening the customer accounts. Third is saying identify customer as per existing instructions, or fourth is saying provide efficient customer services. So role of the frontline employees of the bank in the bank with respect to KYC guidelines given by RBI. So which of the following is the role of the frontline employees? First, to assist the customer in filling up the forms. Second, to serve with a smile while opening the customer account. Third, or while providing any kind of services. Okay. Or third is saying identify customer as per the existing instructions. Or fourth is saying provide efficient customer service. Acha, if we are talking about the work of the frontline employees, each and every option is the work of the frontline employees. Okay. But we are asking about in context of the KYC guidelines. So right answer will be your identify customer as per the existing instructions. So whatever instruction was given to you regarding the KYC guidelines, you have to identify the customer as per that guidelines of Reserve Bank of India. Okay. So right answer will be your C option here. Next. So these are the 2 questions which we have discussed on the KYC policies by Reserve Bank of India or by any other regulatory authorities. Now let me know out of 12 how many questions answer you have given correct. Now one information for all of you is that we are conducting a inter-big bank quiz. Now this inter-big bank quiz will be very important for all of you because it is creating a healthy competition between each and every candidate who are performing in this particular quiz. In this quiz you will be asked questions from the general knowledge, from your banking current affairs and your banking awareness. So as we know already that whenever the news comes, banking awareness is simply what everyone is performing. Those who are employee of the bank here, they are performing a practice of banking in the practical life, in day-to-day activity while working in the bank. So it is obvious that you know about the banking awareness, and the general knowledge questions will be also there. Now this quiz is going to be held on 22nd of May at live AM, at live at 11 a.m. only on Officer Survey 24/7. Okay, so to enroll in this particular quiz, to participate in this particular quiz, what you can do, you have to visit the description of this particular video. You will find a form there. You can fill the form and you can enroll for the quiz for the 22nd of May. Okay. And next thing, we are coming with the 3 important batches for your JAIIB preparation, those candidates who are going to give June JAIIB exam. First, we have the PPP 200 case study batch, in which we are going to discuss the case study. As we know, we have certain questions in JAIIB which is related to true or false. Second, we have certain questions related to the objective pattern, and then we have a case study questions also of 2 marks. So it is obvious when we are talking about the case study questions, English medium batch is here, in which we will discuss 200 case study questions. Okay, and then we have all the 3 subjects case study batch available, which is starting from 30th of May. This is starting from 30th of May, and this PPP batch is also starting from 30th of May. Okay, and next JAIIB selection batch is there. That is a crash course. In this crash course, what you are getting, you will get your recorded classes also, which are already recorded by our mentors for you, so that whenever you purchase this particular batch, you can start your preparation immediately. After that, you will get practice mock in the selection batch. After that, you will get the live classes in the selection batch and your ebooks also. So every material will be provided to you for your selection in the JAIIB. So simply, this is a crash course which will cover everything which you need to prepare for the exam. Okay, and this batch is starting from 20th of May. So do not wait. If you are going to give the June JAIIB exam, do enroll in the particular batch, so that you will be able to find out that how to prepare or how to make it clear that you have to qualify this June JAIIB exam. Okay, and to enroll these batches, you can go to the Adda 24/7 application and you can use a code, that is Y496. When you use a code on Adda 24/7 application, you will find 78% discount on the MRP of these products. Okay, so do remember, case study batches are starting from 30th of May and your selection batch or crash course is starting from 20th of May. Okay, so thank you all for joining the session. That's a very good score, Naresh, out of 12. So thank you all for joining the session, and if you are new to the channel, do subscribe Officer Survey 24/7 channel and press the bell icon, so that all the upcoming sessions notification will be given to you from us to you. Okay, so thank you all for